Hi, I'm Tiffany Stoddard, and this is my final project for African American History 1. In a small village in Africa, there once lived a little girl named Talitha. Talitha was a smart and beautiful girl. She loved spending her days helping her mother and doing her chores within the village. Talitha longed to go outside of the village to explore, but her mother and father told her that it was not safe for a little girl to go alone. Talitha asked her mother and father every day if she could go, and every day she was told no. One day, Talitha awoke early and full of hope. She found her mother already making the early morning meal. "Good morning, Mother. Where's Father?" she asked. "He is outside speaking with the village elders," her mother replied. "Mother, can I please go and find items so I can make jewelry? I'm almost 12 and I have never been outside of the village. I will soon be a woman." Her mother thought about it for a few seconds. "Ask your father if it will be all right." This made Talitha happy. She ran outside to find her father on his way back to their hut. "Father, Father!" she exclaimed. "Well, good morning, Talitha. Why are you so excited?" "Father, I asked Mother if I could go outside of the village today to find items to make jewelry. She said that I needed to ask you first. Father, please say yes, as I am almost 12 and I have never left the village." Her father looked at her with pride as she stated her reasoning as to why she should be allowed to go out. He pondered for a moment and made a decision. "Well, you are right, Talitha." This surprised her. "You are soon to be a woman and yet are not familiar with things aside from what you are exposed to daily. I will allow you to go outside today, but you have to make a promise." Yes, anything, Father." "When you go, you must take water with you and you must be careful, for many dangers lurk outside of the village." "Dangers? Like what, Father?" "Dangers like animals and people have started disappearing once they leave the village. Stay away from the tall grass. Many dangers lurk there, and you may not be able to see things over it." "Oh, Father, I will be watchful of any dangers. I don't want to be taken away from you and Mother. As long as you are careful, I will allow you to go." With that, Talitha hugged her father and ran home. She went inside to retrieve a basket for collecting and her container for water. "I love you, Mother. I will see you in a while." "Have fun, my sweet Talitha. Please be safe." Talitha hugged her mother and ran out. When Talitha got outside of her village, she began to run. She couldn't believe she was outside of her village and by herself. As she walked, she started to see beautiful red, pink, and purple flowers. She got excited and beginning to pick some. There were so many flowers. Talitha had never seen so many flowers together at one time. As she got wrapped up in picking flowers, she hadn't realized that she was going further and further into the tall grass. Suddenly, Talitha looked up and all she saw was thick grass that was taller than her, and her village was nowhere to be seen. Talitha was afraid. How had she not realized that she was going to the tall grass? How had she let herself get so off track? She tried to find a clue as to which way she had come, to no avail. Suddenly, she heard the grass moving. She began to cry because she didn't know which way to run, and she didn't know what was coming toward her. The steps got closer and closer. Just then, Talitha heard a voice calling to her. "Talitha, Talitha, come to me. Come to my voice. You are in danger." Talitha began to run towards the voice as fast as she could. She came upon a clearing that held a huge tree. She looked around to find the person that had led her there to the clearing, but was unable to find anyone. "Talitha, go to the back of the tree and hide inside of the opening. You must do so quickly before you are discovered," the voice instructed. She ran to the tree and found the opening, just as the voice had said. She climbed inside with hot tears streaming down her face. Talitha was so afraid, she went as far into the hole as she could. "Be still and breathe lightly. You mustn't be discovered," said the voice. She did as instructed, and then she heard male voices get nearer and nearer. She was even more afraid now. What was going to happen to her? Would she be discovered? "I thought I saw someone come this way," a voice said. "Are you sure?" "Check the tree," another voice said. Panic flooded Talitha's body. "Remain still and breathe lightly," said the helping voice. Suddenly, Talitha saw a man, much lighter than her skin, of that of her own. He looked into the hole as if he could not see her. "They must have run faster than I thought. This basket of flowers is fresh. They must still be near. Let's go." He turned and ran away. Confused and afraid, Talitha dared not move from her position as she continued to breathe lightly. After some time, the helping voice told her that it was safe to come out of hiding spot. "You are safe to come out, my child. I will lead you home." Talitha came out to find a cheetah standing looking at her. She began to cry. "Talitha, do not fret. I am Togar. I have guided you here and kept you safe. I will now guide you home." How could a cheetah be talking? How could she even understand what he was saying? Many other questions ran through her mind. "I am your guide. I will always guide you to safety." How are you talking? Cheetahs can't talk. But here you are talking. "As I told you, I am your guide." Talitha decided to follow Togar, since he had kept her safe so far. As they walked, Togar asked Talitha why she was so far away from her village. She told him about how she was picking flowers and hadn't noticed that she had strayed so far. Talitha began to smell something she had never smelled before and heard a sound that was unfamiliar to her as well. Togar told her to hide behind the big rock that was in front of her. She peered over and saw 3 massive structures in the water. There were men whose skin were lighter than hers, and men that were in chains, being led into the structures by those men who had looked much like the men who had been by the tree. "Look there. Those are ships, and on those ships are slave hunters. They have captured men, women, and even children to take them away from our land. That is what those men were going to do to you. They came from far lands, and they take people to lands far away to do hard work." "That is terrible. That is not right. Why can they not do their own work? I have to tell my father. I have to tell him why people have started disappearing. I mustn't get caught. I have to make it home, Togar." "Don't worry. I will guide you home." Togar and Talitha were careful as they left the rock to head to Talitha's village. When Talitha and Togar reached her village, it was almost dark. Talitha could see her father and other men gathering together at the outer limits of her village. "We are here. Your father and mother are very worried. That group is about to head out to look for you. Hurry and tell them what you saw today. You must warn them of the dangers that lurk not too far away. You all, especially the men, must be even more careful from now on." "Thank you, Togar. I will never forget you and what you did for me today." And with that, Talitha ran toward her father and the group. "Father! Father! Talitha! Oh, my Talitha! Where did you go? Your mother and I have been so worried. Why did you go back so far? Why did you not come back sooner?" "I got lost, and then I had to hide. There were men with skin colors different from our own. that were looking for me. And then I saw ships, and they had been waiting in the water, leading people onto them with chains. There were so many people that looked like us, Father, that were being taken unto the ships. Oh, Talitha, how did you not get caught? I am so thankful that you did not. Togar guided me and kept me safe. Togar? Who is Togar? He is my God that kept me safe and showed me the ships. He guided me home. I know this sounds mad, Father, but this is true. We have to warn everybody about the slave hunters. We have to keep everyone safe. With this information, Talitha's father went to the village chief and told him what Talitha had seen. He told him of the ships and the people that were in chains. The chief called an immediate village meeting. He told the entire village of the lighter-skinned men, the ships, and the chains that trapped their people. He warned everyone of the new dangers that were outside of their village. Talitha was happy that she was able to come back home and tell her father of what she had seen. From then on, no one went outside of the village alone, and they stayed close to the village as possible. The number of people who disappeared dropped. Talitha had saved her village mostly. She was looked at as a hero now. She never thought that she would become a hero of her village. She became Talitha, the savior of the village.